What is up, everybody? We've got a post-game reaction show, Warriors-Rockets Game 4. I will openly confess, because this was actually supposed to air Tuesday, which would have been April 29th. It's instead airing the 30th, because I recorded a reaction to this game and then another topic that's going to be on the YouTube channel at some point this week, but I did want to touch on it in the time I have before the podcast on Friday. I did a reaction to both of these, and then I went back to Eden's, looked at my phone, and put my earbuds on. I was like, I can't hear what I'm saying. My microphone's muted. So you can see now. Red lights on. We're ready to go. Microphone is not muted this time. I've got my headphones on just in case something crazy happens. Warriors 109, Rockets 106. My Dubs take a 3-1 commanding series lead. Obviously, this series is a wrap. It is over. Forget about it. Done. Golden State is going to move on to the next round. Just about getting the one more win to make it official. I think I will say in the front end, I have predicted each game of the series correctly. Warriors win game 1, Rockets win game 2, Warriors win the next 2 at home in 3 and 4. I think the Rockets will respond, save their season. And at this point, it's going to be tonight in game 5. I hope I'm wrong, but I think that's going to be the case. Warriors close them out on Friday in 6. For this game, and you see I'm wearing a Warriors jersey. It is not a Steph Curry jersey, a Jimmy Butler jersey. It is number 23. It is a Draymond Green jersey because this was the Draymond Green game. We can get to Jimmy Butler later in the segment. Steph didn't quite have it. Props to Brandon Pajibs giving you 26. Props to Buddy Hield, who was impactful on both ends of the floor. Steve Kerr pointed out kind of hilariously after the game. This was Draymond Green. You could talk about, well, he had the technical foul, and he had the flagrant foul, and he had the 5 fouls playing with foul trouble the entire fourth quarter. Folks, over the course of this basketball game, particularly in the second half, Alperen Sengün was annihilating the Golden State Warriors, and except against Draymond Green. And we could show you those numbers where against every other Warrior, Sengün cooked them. 25 points on 9 of 16 shooting. Against Draymond Green, 6 points on 3 of 12 from the field, and that 12th miss was all Draymond Green. Down 1 is the Houston Rockets. 13 seconds left. As a Warriors fan, I'm like, oh my gosh, if we blow this one, it's 2-2. I still feel like we're obviously going to win the series, but now that's a best of 3. Houston's got home court. Now the Warriors got to work extra to get a series, whereas Minnesota, we'll see what they do tonight, are going to be well rested potentially going into the second round against Golden State. All of those things are in my mind. And despite the fact Sengün has cooked you all game, Steve Kerr still looks at Draymond Green with 5 fouls and says, you know what? Despite the fact that Sengün, it has like a 7-inch height advantage on Draymond Green, maybe probably more 6-inch height advantage on Draymond Green, I'm going to trust him one-on-one, no help to get the stop to save the game. And gosh darn, is that not exactly what Draymond Green was able to do against what was over the course of this game consistently the best player on the floor in this game individually. Draymond gets a stop, and this is what I've said about Draymond Green over the course of this dynasty, really since the show's existed, October of 2019, is we know Steph's the head of the Warriors dynasty snake. And while KD was obviously a superstar in his own right and the second best player in this dynasty, Steph was the best. In terms of the breadth of this dynasty, the width of it, the second most important player to the Golden State Warriors during this dynasty has been Mr. Green. With respect to this other splash brother, Klay Thompson, who's now a Dallas Maverick, respect to Klay, but with intangibles, offense, defense, this is what he provides, is the mental telepathy with Steph, to be on the same pitch with Steph at all times, at some point to run your darn offense is almost like a point guard at times, like a point guard hybrid to a degree, and then defensively being an A-plus guy 1 through 5. I can stop Alperen Sengün to save the game. I can stop last game of the regular season, stop Kawhi Leonard. The Warriors lost that game, but I'm going to stop Kawhi Leonard one-on-one to force overtime. I can guard the best guards. It does not matter. They will get theirs because some of these, these are great. Shingun's a great player. These are great players we're talking about, but I'm going to make it hard as hell on these guys, and that's what Draymond Green did. This was the Draymond Green game, and this is why I got so irritated with him last year with the situation with Yusuf Nurkic, the spot where he got ejected in a Magic game that was critical to the Warriors late season when they were trying to, ironically, hold off these same Rockets just to stay in the play-in tournament, is when people are like, oh, man, Draymond's more trouble than he's worth. You got to trade him. I'm like, Look at the numbers. It's overwhelming. He is critical to this team's success. He has just got to stop getting in his own way. And this year he really has. He's still the same Draymond. He's still going to maybe step over that line from time to time, but that's who he is. I'm fine with him doing that just as long as he's not out of control, and he has not been that. And so I thought Draymond was excellent in this game. I thought Steph was, it's fine. He had 17 points. He had a big fourth quarter three and a big pump fake when the Warriors had 2 on the shot clock late game. Steph in this game, 17 points on 6 of 13 shooting, 2 from 8 from 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Like, especially relative to his game 3 performance when Steph was unreal. Yeah, he's fine. 17 points is not terrible. It's not Steph Curry peak apex guy. This is what makes the Warriors so scary. And I talked about this after game 1 in a game Steph played great in when he dropped 31 and hit those circus shots in Houston, where if Steph doesn't have it, or even if Steph is not your primary closer late in games, the 2 rules we know about the playoffs, and I talked about this on the show the other day, they allow physicality. That's just the reality of the NBA. They allow more physicality. It makes for more entertaining basketball come playoff time, come April, May, and June. The number 2 thing is role players always step up more at home than the road. Brandon Pajemski, 26 points. Buddy Hield, giving you double digits in the starting lineup in this game and being impactful in the defensive end. Quentin Post giving you double-digit rebounds in Game 3. Gary Payton giving you double figures in Game 3. All of these guys stepping up and contributing, but also the reason this Warriors team went from average, maybe a play-in team, to they will win the finals, as I've said since March, is if Steph doesn't have it, you trust Draymond to shut it down the defensive end and kind of lead that charge. Warriors have a number 1 defense in basketball since early February when they traded for Jimmy freaking Butler. Playoff Jimmy. Beat up, not 100%. There were multiple times that game the other night where I'm like, man, Jimmy he's that glue is bothering him. We can show you what Jimmy Butler did in this basketball game. 27 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 7 of 12 from the field, 1 for 2. He hit a 3 in this game. 12 for 12 from the free throw line. You see on the bottom. 14 points. There's the asterisk on the points. 14 points in the fourth quarter, including the foul by the bum who wears number 9 in Houston. And as for him, by the way, can we mention this? I won't say his name on this show. You know who he is. Number 9 for the plays for the Houston Rockets. Doesn't play particularly well for them, but he plays for them. He's employed by them. I love the fact that he does all that yapping. As he presents himself as, I'm the tough guy. I am the enforcer to bring it for the Houston Rockets. Give us an edge. I'm the tough guy. And when Steph Curry in the first half gets fouled by said player, holds up 2 fingers, not to say deuces, not to say peace, i.e. Tyreek Hill, to say 2 fouls, bruh. The tough guy is, is so sensitive that he shoves Steph, and Draymond Green actually has to play peacemaker, ironically, between those two. Should not have gotten a technical for what happened in that instance. And then said player, almost said his name, said player decides it's a good idea to trash talk playoff Jimmy Butler. Grant Williams, God bless him, he's a Vol. I love Grant Williams, but he thought that was a good idea to talk smack to Jimmy Butler, and he got it handed to him in Game 2 of the conference finals 2 years ago. Said player does some yapping to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler lets you know what he thinks about him. Cosign. And the Warriors are down 7 at the half, and then they go on an 18-1 run to start the second half. Now, an 18-1 run in a game that you win by 3, pretty big. Think the Warriors are pretty intent. Let's kind of put this guy in his place and let him, show him he can't talk his way into winning the series. And oh, by the way, the go-ahead free throws from playoff Jimmy, who was beat up, he was fouled by said bum who wears number 9. So he has never impacted winning a day in his life in the NBA. That will never be the case. The Rockets will be an immensely better basketball team the second they move off of him, and they better do it soon. And so just wanted to get that out of the way because he is a bum and always has been. And he's been that way since Memphis. So Jimmy, clutch, taking advantage of a bad player guarding him and getting in his head. Yeah, that really worked. Yeah, let's fire up a guy whose nickname is literally Playoff Jimmy. What a great concept. That's a winning player right there. And as for Houston, I mentioned Sengün was awesome. And he missed the last shot. To me, that was more Draymond Green being the greatest defender on the planet than Sengün choking or something. And I've been hard on Ime Udoka. I think rightfully so. I've said Ime Udoka being the Curry stopper coach is the tabloid magazine of the NBA. It's nonsense. I've showed Steph's numbers, Steph's record. Steph now improves to 7-3 against Ime Udoka in the postseason. Another guy that the Rockets have to consider the future of, aside from the bum who wears number 9, is Jalen Green. I'm not saying they have to move off him this offseason. I'm saying players like Jalen Green don't usually translate to winning basketball. And you've seen, he's a young player. I'm not saying this is a referendum on who he is and who he always will be. But what have you done for me lately, Janet Jackson? Can we show what Jalen Green has been in his last 8 basketball games? Not very good. 5 points, 7 points, 2 points, 7 points, 38 in game 2 when he went off, 9 points, and then 8 points in game 4. Inconsistent, not terribly aggressive, obviously not efficient at all. The dude's shooting toward 8s right now. And so I think Sengün is the centerpiece of this. Shengun's like 22 years old. He's got a very bright future ahead of him. See what he's doing this year? He's an all-star. That kid's, there's a reason he gets compared to Jokic. I don't think he'll be Jokic. I don't think he'll be a 3-time MVP winner who's the best player in the world. But listen, who's to say what this kid can be, given what he has shown? Jalen Green is an immensely talented athlete, was a gifted scorer coming out of the G League. I remember talking about him on our draft show, myself, Barry Grant Jr., Mike Guido in 2021. And you've seen the progression, and it's just not gotten quite to where you thought it would be, particularly from a consistency standpoint. And so, listen, Warriors are up 3-1. I think Houston is going to win game 5. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully the Warriors win game 5, get this series over with, and then Minnesota Lakers beat each other up for the next 3 games. That's what I hope. Lakers, Timberwolves go 7 games. Whoever wins, Warriors play a beat-up squad in round 2 with almost a week of rest. That's the best-case scenario for the Warriors. But my guess is pure desperation. The Rockets win game 5. I would say by a final score of like 110 to, 99. Like, I think they win. Not comfortably, but somewhat similar-ish to game 2. Now, if you told me Jimmy and Steph are like, if it's like a 5-point game fourth quarter, then I think Jimmy and Steph are taking that thing home. So it's imperative the Rockets get out to a hot start and close it from there. Even if they do, though, Warriors are closing them out in 6. But that's kind of where I'm at on game 4. Jimmy was clutch, shocker, playoff Jimmy. Steph didn't quite have it. That's okay. Pajemski stepped up. Buddy Hield stepped up. Also, last point, I thought for all the Kerr haters, and most of the Kerr haters actually seem to be Warriors fans, particularly Gen Z Warriors fans on social media, who just hate the guy. His rotations suck. You guys don't know basketball. The most brutal stretch for the Warriors in this game was the second half when Steven Adams, who, got DMPs at some points in the regular season, let me make sure I get around the box score, played 26 minutes in game 4. That 2 big lineup of Adams and Sengün was, especially with Draymond in foul trouble, was killing the Warriors. Offensive rebound, second chance points, all of it. So what does Steve Kerr do? He said, I'm going to play chess when Ime Udoka's playing checkers. Draymond's in foul trouble. I'm going to take Draymond out, put Kevon Looney in for the sole purpose to intentionally foul Steven Adams. Hacking Adams. Make them take him out of the game, put Draymond right back in to go on Sengün. What a brilliant strategist Steve Kerr is and always has been. And this is why he's a top 3 coach of the league. This is why he's one of the most successful NBA coaches of all time. And he is awesome. Kudos to Steve Kerr. That was a masterclass in coaching by Steve Kerr in game 4. And over the course of the series, he's been great with his rotations, particularly given the Jimmy injury, the Pod's illness, and now it's all coming together for the Warriors where they are. It is barring injury, knock on wood, it is an inevitability. They're going to the second round. They're certainly not blowing a 3-1 lead to the darn Rockets. I think they're going to lose game 5. They're going to take game 6 in Golden State. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.